belangrijkste behoort die ooit werden genomen in de bewogen ontwikkeling van dit deel van ons land. Het leven van de bevolking van deze streek zal in de toekomst in vele opzichten mede worden beheerst en bepaald door de verrijkende impulsen die mogen worden verwacht van een instelling van onderzoek en onderwijs op hoog wetenschappelijk niveau.
Majesteit, dames en heren.
Kemenade?
Voor Limburg.
He was then the Minister of Education, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is het een belangrijke dag.
Ja.
Want de nieuwe universiteit.
Then it was a State University Limburg. Yeah. We changed that name, Maastricht University, and that was, I think it was a wise decision to do so.
Limburg feliciteer ik met de bekroning van een jarenlang gevoerd pleidooi. Limburg feliciteer ik ook met de nieuwe mogelijkheden voor ontplooiing die het hiermee heeft verworven.
Closing the coal mines was really a disaster for this region. I lived in this region when I was a young child. And it was all focused on the coal mines and the heavy industry over here. And almost everyone depended economically and socially from the coal mines. And when these were closed, that was really a disaster for many, many people. So we need, I think, a new perspective. And the university, and later on the academic hospital, could deliver that new perspective for the people and for the province. I came to Maastricht in September 1981. There were plans to develop a faculty of law, and I was very interested, especially because of the problem-based learning system. I was in those days a criminal law defender in The Hague, so I had to deal with a lot of cases and to solve cases. I was just a beginning criminal law defender, and I thought that the problem-based learning system, especially for lawyers, would be very helpful to learn the law, to study the law. So I was interested, so I wrote a letter, and I was invited for a meeting. Then I had a meeting. What I remember that I was asked to write something for a second meeting on the challenges and the problems with problem-based learning. You start with 10 people, and after 1, 2 or 3 years there are other people coming in from other universities. And already then we had the discussion, why do we have these small groups? Because a lot of time, because a lot of money. So we need to spend most of our time to education, and not to research. So that discussion I know we had from the beginning from the Faculty of Law, and it's still going on. I love the PBL system very much indeed then, and I still do. We started with students with an average age of 26. With 100 students at the Faculty of Law, and they were very motivated, and so were we, the teachers and the tutors. So it was, in my opinion, a great success. I still believe that the problem-based learning system is a very excellent system to motivate students, to have an interaction with the students. It's very pleasant for tutors, for teachers to work in the problem-based learning system, but what I see nowadays is that students are not that motivated for a problem-based learning system because they have to work hard. And not everybody wants to work hard. And if you don't work hard in a problem-based learning system, that is dramatic for other students who participate in the small tutorial groups. So the level is going down. And that's what I see, especially in my faculty. What I remember is that I was a dean then of the Faculty of Law, and all of a sudden we heard that my predecessor, Professor Arie Nieuwenhuizen-Kruseman, would leave as a rector, and the executive board was looking for a successor. And then all of a sudden in a meeting that we had, what we call a heyday of the executive board, together with the deans of the faculties, the chair of the executive board, Jo Ritsen, asked me to walk with him during a break during a coffee break or a lunch break. And then we walked around, it was in Waals, I know. And then he asked me whether I was interested to become a rector. And then I said to him, well, I don't know. I'm not quite sure whether I can do it. I'm able to become a rector. I have to think about it. The rector was, in my opinion, I was a great scholar, a very international renowned scientist, someone who knows everything from the disciplines within the university, and I was just a professor of criminal law, and that was it. When I started, I had no agenda at all. I had a meeting with my predecessor. We had a dinner, and later on, I think we had one other meeting, and that was it. I didn't have a political agenda. I just traveled around through the university and I listened. And what I saw in the university is that the PBL was lacking attractiveness for students as well as for teachers. And there was no movement to develop something new or a new philosophy or a new spirit for PBL in the new century. What I did is to develop some minor things, for instance marble and premium and so on, so the research within the bachelor stage and research in the masters. But I also invited people from different faculties to think, together with me and other people, about the renewal of the problem-based learning system. If you want to be leading in learning, you have to show it to the outside world. And you just can't wait for new things to come. We have to create it. What I see is that let's say the groups that we had discussing several issues concerning the education and the problem-based learning system, they fell apart. They are not existing anymore. And my second observation is that there is a vice rector for education now. And it's quite different from what we did in our time, because in my belief, education is core of the university and that should be in the portfolio of the rector. I think what is very important is that the university decided to step in the kennisas, so work together with the province and with other institutions, also to contribute to the economic welfare of this province. I think that was a very important decision, and we could do so because we prepared these decisions by developing spirits for the research. That was very important, and what we see now is that these programs who act in the kennisas, they look very successful. And I think it's important also for the future of the university that there is a position of the university not only in Maastricht but throughout the province. So bring also your knowledge or develop knowledge in Heerlen and also in Venlo, and make sure that you can't be missed as a university in this province. I think when I left as a rector, that was a very fine evening, because then people were very grateful, so to say. And I hadn't expected in that way. So that was, I think, a very, very fine hour as well. I never thought, when I came in 1981 to Maastricht, that after 35 years, I would be there still. But I have had a lot of roles and functions within the university throughout these 35 years. So it was very dynamic, and I still love it.